problem on solid waste and its management has become a genuine concern of the nation. The rapidly swelling population, increasing urbanization, and intensifying economic activities have all contributed to the generation of solid wastes, especially in the urban centers and urbanizing areas. Barangay Ambulong, one of the 105 barangays of Batangas City, is one urbanizing area that is experiencing this problem but has been able to reduce and to manage its garbage ecologically as mandated by Republic Act 9003. Located 8 kilometers from the City Hall of Batangas is Barangay Ambulong. The name Ambulong came from the word Ambulong, which means the flow, due to the presence of continuous and strong flow of water along the cliff of the hill in the area. Ambulong became an independent barrio when about 700 residents requested its separation from its then mother barrio, Tabangao, in 1958. The request was approved by the authorities in 1960. Since then, the population grew to about 5,000 peace-loving Batangueños spread out into 6 sitios, namely Proper, Bulihan, Sinangan, Araneta, Ibabaw, and Batis. Highly diversified means of livelihood such as vulcanizing, pipe fitting, welding, electrical instrumentation, and other technical jobs characterize the workforce which are employed by the Philippine Shell Petroleum Corporation, which was built on Sitio Araneta in 1960s. From then on, Ambulong has become a progressive barangay with an average yearly income of 14 million pesos. Such progress carries with it a price. Though environmental degradation has never been a major problem, the increase in waste generation was felt. Though there are hardly any industries except for Shell Refinery and Malampaya Onshore Gas Plant Project, the principal sources of solid wastes come from households, schools, and small establishments. There are about 1,000 households where each generates 0.5 kilo daily, or a total waste generation of 1,400 tons a month. To ensure the proper management of wastes as mandated by RA 9003, the Barangay Council under the leadership of Barangay Captain Victoriano Cantos has instituted the following mechanisms. Education, being the first step towards the implementation of any project, a series of ecological seminars were given in the later part of 2003 and in February 2004 to the Barangay Council, executive staff, and ecological solid waste management or ESWM personnel, as well as the multi-sectoral groups in the barangays. Trainers were identified by the barangay administration to be able to pass on the learnings to the household level. The ESWM, as mandated by the Act, meets regularly to plan out, implement, and evaluate the activities pertaining to the implementation of sorting, recycling, and composting in the household level. A regular cleanup activity is done by members of the women's and youth sectors. To assist in the information dissemination, leaflets, posters, streamers, and other outdoor signages are handed to the residents about the eco-waste management. Tri-media outlets such as local print, radio, and television have been consistent partners in this endeavor. The barangay officials has selected Sitio Proper as the model sitio for segregation and collection of wastes from the household to the Materials Recovery Facility or MRF. From the household, the waste is segregated into biodegradable and non-biodegradable, which are then collected by the Biomen and EcoAid. The segregated wastes are then transported by a dump truck to the MRF, about 1 kilometer from the sitio proper. Barangay Ambulong purchased a 1,000 square meter lot which houses the MRF. The said facility was inaugurated on January 27, 2004 with a fitting ceremony and witnessed by the city and barangay officials, DENR, and representatives of the Shell Refinery. The facility consists of 1 hammer mill, 3 composter drums, and 1 rotary screener. The hammer mill has a capacity to grind 2.5 to 3 tons of biodegradable garbage per hour. This will then be fed into the composter drum together with a premix to hasten decomposition. The drum is a stainless steel which has a capacity to process 2 tons of biodegradable garbage into 1 ton of fertilizer within 5 to 7 days. The product of the above technology is the organic fertilizer, which is then used by the women's group managing the nursery located in the MRF. The fertilizer is also being sold for 150 pesos per bag. On the other hand, the MRF also houses a recycling facility where old newspapers, cartons, and other items are manually sorted, classified, and baled for storage in the mini redemption center. When the appropriate volume is reached, the recyclables are sold to the junk shops. After the installation of the ESWM, the Barangay Council passed the Barangay Tabangao Ambulong Solid Waste Management Plan specifying the waste reduction strategy, installation and operation of the MRF and other system of awards and incentives, which is also mandated by the Act. To strengthen the implementation of the Act, Barangay Ordinance No. 8 Series of 2003, entitled Enacting a Barangay Ordinance for the Regulation of Solid Waste Generation and Management, was passed in October 2003. To encourage the residents to practice waste segregation, daycare children as well as women's groups are given incentives to win in the search for batang and babaeng makakalikasan, where candidates earn points by the volume of recyclables sold to the junk shops. The plan to award households complying with waste segregation will be launched in the near future. Deputation of volunteers to enforce the Ordinance No. 8 are also in place. The barangay tanods and the deputized volunteers are expected to enforce the no segregation, no collection of wastes. Barangay Ambulong is fortunate to have a sizable budget for its infrastructure. A 2-story barangay hall is the seat of the administration and is often the envy of other nearby towns. The barangay has a strong program for rehabilitation of waterways, drainage, and roads. At this point, the product of the barangay's efforts cannot be measured in large measure in terms of economic gains yet, but in the change of how people treat their wastes as a resource. But it is hoped that in the next months, the fruits of their labor can be reaped. Barangay Captain Vic Cantos, a forward-looking barangay official, envisions the MRF not only as a self-sustaining facility, but also a model of the 3 R's in waste management: reduce, reuse, and recycle. The barangay also prides itself for being the only barangay in the city with an email facility and was the first GMAC or Gabay sa Mamamayan Action Center inaugurated by no less than DILG Secretary Joey Lina. It has also a health center which is certified by the DOH as Sentrong Sigla and a multi-purpose covered court where public functions are held from time to time. It has also the full support of the city government and has been cited by the city mayor Eddie Bidi Makuha as the model barangay in the implementation of the Act. This is Barangay Ambulong, a barangay where the protection of the environment is the highest level of priority.